What's good, YouTube? And welcome to Rumor Review and a hot day in Texas. Now, these aren't actually rumors. These are going to be case ratio openings, but not as many as I'm used to when we're talking mass cases. So take these with a grain of salt. You could see some of these ratios vary, especially with more and more cases open, but I'm pretty confident early on, and let's go ahead and talk about them. In the USA, it's looking like quarter century rares are about 3 per case, and in the EU, it's also looking like it's about 3 per case. However, I'm hearing from the EU there's great variance at times, like multiple cases, 2 per case, 2 per case, all of a sudden a case with freaking 8 of them. What is happening? And with that variance, if Konami's doing that on purpose, that would create a great kind of chase for the sealed. Like, I could get one of these amazing cases, but I think it's actually quality control more likely, like the cutting up of the sheets and, you know, only them going here and all of a sudden there. It's not like the crazy eye-popping numbers of, oh my gosh, there's like 5 Starlights per pack in this case, or the double collector rare per box cases. I don't think this is necessarily on purpose to kind of drive that. I think they would go much more ham to try to create that hunt for sealed than the one here or there, but it is something to be aware of that I'm hearing from the EU. Now let's actually break down that ratio, and let's assume there's 25 different ones here, and then there's 3 per case, right? Which is actually harder to get than collector rares. I've been hearing a lot of people saying, oh, it's going to be like collector rares 4 per case. No, it looks like it's around 3 per case, and that makes it a little bit harder to get an individual 25th rare than it would be for Starlights out of Rising Rampage. However, modern Starlights, where they added, you know, the 5th one, it seems like to get that individual one would be a little bit easier than that, but still freaking hard. You would have to open 8.3 repeating cases in total to see one of each individual quarter century, sorry, I'm still getting used to the term, get that individual quarter century rare of each, and that means the stars of the show will likely be way up in price versus there being junk-ish ones or lower priced ones, especially with Konami doing promos in the Megatons. You gotta remember that word this year, as well as Legendary Collection and them being actual icons like Black Rose, Stardust. And then, speaking of Super Polymerization getting leaked today, it'll be interesting to see how one of those mid-range Starlight rares, instead of top end like Zeus and Masquerena, ends up doing versus its quarter century rare, because the quarter century rare will still be very hard to get. But this was a pretty recent release, and it's already been slowly going down, but not the most. It is present in the format, and nobody's running out to sell it versus this news so far, but it will be something to watch how it affects this kind of a market, having that mid to max be just as hard to get when it comes to this, but also easy in the everyday man's hand to get out of the Megatons. Definitely something to think about. In terms of short prints, I have heard Duality is shorted in the EU at least, but again, I don't have mass cases. It's looking like that early. Sometimes there is that natural variance and it catches up, so be aware it could be, but this is again early reporting, so take everything with a grain of salt when it comes to these numbers as rumors, except there's actual numbers to back this, just not enough numbers yet. Now, to Merchant Watch, Ophidian is doing a 50% off sale and have put a ton of old designs on their website. This will be their last major sale, though they're telling me basically in a very, very long time. And with their classic designs here, I love it. Heck, the Ancient Rival 2-player mat is nice to see. And when you're looking at it, you're using code Ophidian50. Now, this does not support the channel directly when you use that code. However, they did send me a ton of playmats to do the promotion, both for myself and giveaways. And you might remember this mat. When it had the raised ink, it actually caused a lot of trouble because it's such an intricate design. Seeing it burned in and brought back is amazing. Check this out. Look at that. It just looks amazing on this cream as well. And the Dark Magician also does pretty good. The face, not quite fully there because it's still so delicate, but overall, I still really love this design. And for me, it's the Blue Eyes side, and at half off, you can't really argue too much with, you know, nice quality $20 playmats. Again, code Ophidian50 if you're shopping over there, and it works on all their mats on the website. Also, Tapio Cards doing a bit of a sale on their new drop on their oversleeves. If you purchase 10, you get 1 free. However, if you do that promotion, What's Good 5 does not stack. So if you'd like to support the channel, say do 2 of each sleeve, What's Good 5 will work on the order and also help your boy. Consider it like a tip, but always do what's best for you and your cart. So the sale again is if you're buying 10, you get 1 free here, but if you do add others in the cart, what's good to 5 applies on the rest of the cart, and I also will see the full amount back for the discount usage on the entire sale, so it hooks me up and it also gets you a better sale. If so, like, again, I would think about maybe 2 of each design if you do want to do that, but reach the number you want to reach and do what's best for you. I'm always fully transparent with how the sales work. Also, they're sending me some sleeves of this in addition, so I will be getting product to look at, to test, and also to give away on top. I love my sponsors and how they will work with me on stuff like that. Now, back into Rumor Watch. Apparently, Dark Magician Girl is getting re-released to locals, and one of these OTSs got about 100 of them. I get it's one of the most popular ones, but it's been downhill in the last month, and now the number makes way more sense and why they're popping up and why they're going cheaper for the English all of a sudden. Remember, the original one does have the no border longer look, but it's been affected by the rewaves and gone down over time. So this re-release of this, why not just do a different Dark Magician Girl art? They're all technically large, Konami. I get this one was popular, but come on. Yeah, I do get that it will be a nice one to get back while you're buying product, but at the same time, they're supposed to be releasing Zombroya the Dark, and like, I love this card a lot, but if people are getting this in too, that's very interesting, and it makes total sense with the math of why the graph is down if this is happening. But I only have confirmation from that one OTS so far. That's a lot for them to end up getting, though. When it also comes to Dark Magician Girls, I wanted to show something. Look at this crazy price. Oh my gosh, Content John, the Discord says. Ultra Rare, Pharaoh Rare, Mavens, Dark Magician Girl here on TCG Player 2K, lowest for English. And the Secret Rare actually has been going up over here. Let's go over to Card Market and see the flip of this. Whoa, the Ultra Rare, it's only around 200 euros here. Ask for pictures, blah, blah, blah. It does go up on the page, but there's plenty at 250 euros and under here. But when the Ultra Rare and it comes down to getting English, like, it gets up there in price towards 400. Basically, our Secret Rare, right? But when the Secret Rare is present over here, only 3 listings, 800, 1,000, 2,000. It's like a mirror flip. You know, that 400 to 500 for our Secret Rare, which is now 550, versus the 1,000 plus for the Ultra. It's because, again, the Ultra Rare was exclusive to the EU release, the Secret Rare to the US release. So it's going to be much harder for the Secret Rare to be found in Europe and much easier in the US, and vice versa. The Ultra Rare is going to be much harder to get in the USA and much easier to get over in Europe as a whole. So do keep that in mind for the releases of the product. It's not like one is way higher than the other. And it actually reminds me of my uncle in doing business. He actually, during a hay shortage, imported a ton down from Canada, and then the reverse, there was a hay shortage in Canada, and he brought a bunch from Texas up to Canada and made a bunch of money with those connections twice. So when you see these differences in the two regions in the rarity, you might be able to stock up and go to a YCS over somewhere and do pretty good with that, or use forwarding services and that sort of thing if you want a specific one for much cheaper than what it's going for in your region. Eradicator Epidemic is going around in terms of talks on the market, and well, it got a reprint all in the Wild Survivor, so it's pretty easy to get, and the holos aren't going anywhere, so people are actually banlist talking. But the Secret Rare is mega stonks, with the Unlim being around $100 and the first edition lowest just up there like crazy towards 300. But again, banlist copium people wanting this on the list and then talking about the answer maybe coming off. Red Reboot could do it. Well, if you truly believe, there's the Prismatics at $2 using that TCG Player link in the description down below, costing you nothing extra to support the channel directly for the cards you'd already be buying. But in my opinion, banlist spheres are going to be talked about, but we're in the WCQ season, so you're going to see that kind of hype, and then hype died down after the WCQs themselves as we then go back towards banlist spheres. So be aware, it's kind of a powder keg market right now in terms of how things are going to go boom and then drop back off the face of the earth. But a lot of people begging for this one right now, so you might see it actually, you know, that speculatory market, see it push up towards 5, 6, and people try to sell through it with all that copium market going on. It'll be interesting to watch. Pulling the Rug is doing pretty good on Edison format. It seems it counters a lot of Monarchs. That's an old school one. And the rares are $10 and above and selling. This is wild to me. I'm going to have to go back through and make sure to pick my bulk thoroughly on them. And if you remember my ultimate rare buy, I did get some of these, although one of the sellers didn't send all of them. Gosh dang it. But it is also mad up versus its market price. And you can see the ultimate rares, the unlims are like on buyout mode too. And the first edition's up towards $50+ lowest, with actual sales of even light play unlimiteds in the 30s, and first that's actually selling in the 50s. Kind of crazy on this card, and how Edison is just juicing something every single week from the hype, especially with that mega Edison tournament that's going to be like 256 people or something like that. Pre-registration already opened and might already be closed for it. I haven't looked and see if it filled up. And finally, I just wanted to point at Maze of Memories, which has been overperforming in my opinion on TCG Player. A lot of the cards have been going down in here versus this up-sealed price on this platform. Like Solemn Judgment Collector Rare, it does have that ultimate rare competitor, is, you know, continuously down, or Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, also continuously down in price for a max rarity hero. So be aware during this time, it's looking pretty good to start getting your singles as people look at other sets. If you've been waiting, like Gate Guardian Collector Rare, I know people who were waiting for this to drop to end up collecting it. They were waiting for that 30 point, and it is at 30, so they might start to get eaten at a certain point versus what they are, but there's tons to look at through here versus even if you just want the specific singles, a lot of down in prices, although Wake Up Your Elemental Hero has more fluctuation than the average card. Thanks for watching today's Market Watch. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. Remember the sales over on Tapio cards. Again, if you add an 11th item on top of that sale to your cart, it helps me out a ton when you use code What'sGood5 for 5% off and to support the channel directly. And over at Ophidian, their playmats are 50% off with code Ophidian50, and I believe that's through this week only. Thanks for watching.